Welcome, everyone. You're listening to Nephology, the podcast dedicated to crypto, accounting, business, finance, and much, much more. I'm Joe David, the founder of Nephos Group in Myna. Please note that all conversations recorded are professional opinions, and if you'd like to know more or gain support, please reach out to the team directly. Now on to the next episode.
Hello and welcome to another series for the Nephology podcast. This series is called Crypto Accounting as a Career Path, where we will be talking about how you can actually delve into the world of cryptocurrency, taxation, and everything around it. The first episode is what it is like to work in the industry. So my name is Jamie Nuttall and I am the Head of Crypto Tax for Myna. And I have the lovely Janita today as my guest. Janita, welcome, and please do introduce yourself.
Thanks for having me, Jamie. I'm Janita. I'm the Sales and Marketing Manager here at the Dot HQ. I've been with Dot since its inception, 2 years now. Still learning. I'm here for the same reason. A little bit about Dot. So we help accounting firms and SFEs meet the skill shortages. You know how the skill shortages are, Jamie. I don't have to tell you. So yeah. So we help them provide the resource support that they need. And so the journey usually starts with firms of accounting approaching us and then outsourcing their accounting jobs to our pods, our professionals on demand. I like to call them our superheroes. So in essence, it's like having a team member work for you full time. The only difference is that they are located in another country. And of course, with the benefit of, no headaches of recruitment, training, office space, hardware, equipment, etc. And once the pods have settled with the firm and, if they're happy with our service offering, we help them set up their own offshore remote team. So that's what we do.
Perfect, thank you for that very detailed intro. It's definitely important to know where you're coming from before we even start the podcast. I guess just to be very clear for those listening and maybe even viewing, this isn't about crypto specifically. This is more about crypto taxation, crypto accounting. Basically, what I do for a living and what Janita and Dot help us via their outsourcing solution, because we treat them exactly the same as anyone we would hire within the UK and are fully fledged members of the team. So what's, from your perspective, Janita, what's going on then? So how do you feel about all this? What are your thoughts, I guess?
My thoughts, well, to be honest, my knowledge about crypto is probably just as much as what I would find out from Wikipedia and also whatever I've learned from being a Dot for 2 years. But I think the idea of crypto for me is it seems complex and slightly unfamiliar, hence there's a certain intrigue or uncertainty around it. But I have to say at the same time, I think that that's exactly what makes it a niche area of expertise, if I would say so, in the sense that there aren't many crypto accountants out there specializing in crypto. So, which means if you are doing that,
honestly,
if you are doing that, you're in high demand. So,
no, I completely agree. There's a current shortage of available accountants, full stop, let alone those who are wanting to or are in the crypto space. From your office, is there a stigma around it at all?
I think there is slightly, not only in our office, I think in general within whatever I've heard of, I think the stigma is primarily around the fact that it's slightly volatile, especially when it comes to price. And also, from whatever feedback I gathered from the boys, is that there isn't any regulation or like a set guidelines to follow. So I think that's probably where the stigma arises from. But I'm sure there are a lot of accounting professionals who are curious about crypto accounting and would like to join the industry, but may have reservations. So, do you think that there are any common misconceptions, in your opinion, that about working in the crypto industry that you'd like to address? Like, just clear the air.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the main ones which has subsided recently anyway in the last few months is that crypto is a breeding ground for malicious and fraudulent activity. Can I say that it's not? No, because there are always going to be those who
I've
are.
heard that too.
Yeah, and people are always
Yeah.
wanting to take advantage of any new technology or area. Now, there's fraud within the crypto space. There's fraud
Mm-hmm.
within the cash space, within
Any space for that matter, actually. Any space.
Exactly. So yeah, that stigma is still there, but I think people are starting to realize it's no more than any other area. The other side of it as well is that if you are a crypto accountant, you are closely tied to the crypto space. Well, yes and no. No, in that you don't have to invest, you don't have to get involved, you just have to deal with the tax implications as well as you can.
But does it help? Does it help that you already know, so it's easier? That's what it is,
Yeah,
right?
that's exactly it. It's I know it sounds silly, but if you are a, say, gaming expert, okay, you review all these games and you publish games, but you don't actually play the games.
Yeah,
It's
it
a bit
sounds.
weird.
It is.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but it's still perfectly fine. Why not? But it definitely helps. It helps to get stuck in, and there's plenty of different areas to get stuck in. So what we've done is we've set a few questions for the team, and I know, Janita, you've chat to them, and there's some answers on here I never want to see ever hit the public domain.
I literally had like a little master class in crypto with the boys, and I was a little slow in understanding. They were so patient and so sweet with me.
Well, I'm a strong believer that if you can explain something in layman's terms and you can explain what you do to someone who has no idea what you do,
Yeah,
you probably can do it pretty well if you can break it
yeah,
down to the
yeah.
fundamental core value of it.
I agree. I told them, explain to me like I'm a 5-year-old. They did a really good job.
Yeah, and I think the last time I said that to them was in today's meeting with them. I said, explain to me like a 5-year-old to show that you understand it. But so so yeah, we asked them a few questions because, like I said, this series is about getting into the crypto accountancy space as a career path, and this particular one is about what it's like to work in the industry. So the first question we've asked them, which I would love for you to tell me what they said,
Sure.
is what is the best thing about working in crypto? Let's start on a positive.
So I think the key takeaway from that is that they love being at the forefront of, the latest cutting edge technology, being young and all that, but also having the opportunity to learn about different financial markets. And because of the nature of crypto accounting or cryptocurrency, it's always dynamic, always changing. There's always something new. So I think they feel like they're on their toes, always engaged. And I guess it's kind of intellectually stimulating also for them. So I think that's the best takeaway I could get from the feedback that I got from them.
That's interesting because they often moan at me at how it's always changing and there's never rules, but I'll remember that one when the next one playing. The another question, sorry, that we had was we asked them what was the biggest challenge of being a crypto accountant. Now we just talked about the good things. We've obviously got to talk about the other side of the coin. What are they struggling with as crypto accountants?
I think for them, what I could take away with that was blockchain technology. They felt like you needed to have in-depth kind of knowledge about blockchain because if that's the building block on what cryptocurrencies work on. So that was one of the challenges they felt that you really need to be updated and, constantly know what's happening. And another, I would say, not a downside, but the fact that there are no regulations or guidelines for them to follow is something I think they kind of struggle with sometimes.
Yeah,
But
there's definitely no definitive answer. It's not black and white. A lot
yeah,
of it is area until proper guidance and specific legislation, shall we say, and obviously
on the
regulation comes
on
in.
the back of that, I'm just curious because I don't know much. Do you think in future would there ever be a time when things would fall in line with the government? I mean, not the governing bodies or some kind of regulation. You think it would come under? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an interesting question. That's actually very that's a high level question because I get a lot of accountants in the space asking me this, and my reference is always something called the CARF, Crypto Asset Reporting Framework. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so this was commissioned by the G20 to the OECD from memory.
Okay.
Basically, it's a framework that is being developed, and I think they're actually at the later stages now of tweaking it and fine tuning it so that everyone within the G20 can adhere to a certain framework for crypto. And what that means is that it will eventually trickle down to individual jurisdictions and etc., and then to individuals dealing with crypto, so they can report it in a certain way. So everyone is going to be reporting it in a certain way, and hopefully that will continue to develop where maybe we end up in a situation where globally we're all reporting it in the same way. So yeah, there is already something in place that is at its sort of later stages as well of development.
Right.
Which it frightens me because I know nothing about what they're going to do yet. And when it comes into play, it's going to have a big impact on everyone within the UK on some level that are in the crypto space, especially if they're accounting. So yeah, definitely.
Definitely. I'm sure. But you think the novelty will fade away? No, I don't think so. You don't need to answer that.
I agree. I don't think the novelty and the excitement of it will stay, but I believe it will still be a niche area like
Right.
R&D tax credits. Not every accountant knows about it, but some do. Some specialize in it. Some firms have it. I think crypto is going to be a very similar, from an understanding perspective and a
Okay.
specialism perspective.
Okay. That's fine. That's good to know. Jamie?
Yeah, I'm always happy to answer questions. That's why we're here. I know I said at the start you can spring questions on me. I didn't realize there'll be that high
You can count on me for that.
stress levels. Another question we asked them was, would you ever go back to traditional accounting?
Oh,
and
yeah, I
tax?
love this.
Now,
You have to listen to this. No, you go on first. Let me see what you have to
no,
say.
I want to hear what they said. Go on, hit me with it.
I have to quote this because it's so fun. So we had one of them say, no, in bold capital letters, no. I would not, because here I don't have to live the boring, monotonous accountant's life. And I thought, yeah. So I thought that was really funny that, and obviously because, they get to modify, they upgrade their skills and, learn about different things. But yeah, so he's definitely not the traditional guy. We can say that.
That's good. That's why he works for Myna, you see. No, that's it's interesting. Obviously, I know there's let's not beat around the bush. There's going to be some air of my boss is listening. The guy in charge of what I learn, what I do, is going to be listening. There's going to be an air of that. However, I still think the answers that they've sent us are very raw, very true.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sure you can tell. Yeah, you can tell that they are young humans who are just trying to get through and learn and expand, have fun and deal with work. Have they how's the rest of the office that isn't within the crypto space and within crypto accounting? How are they like with their perception of the guys in our team? Is it positive? Is it different? Is it they just don't care?
No, of course they do care. I think these boys are looked like, they are perceived to be the cooler ones among the gang, the ones in crypto. I don't know for what reason, but they I'm not kidding you. They're perceived like they're the cool boys, So I'm sure they're envious of them because they are definitely doing something different than what they are doing. Because what they are doing, everybody is doing. But what these boys are doing in crypto is very niche, like we said. So I think there's a slight envy, maybe. Or maybe I'm just reading too much into it.
It's interesting just to read between the lines and to see what the culture is within the office and I'll definitely.
But they're all young, Jamie. So I don't think that, they are very traditional in that way that, they wouldn't be open to trying something new. Even the other children, the other kids that are there here, the young lot. So yeah, I'm sure they're open. They're all open to learning. They're very adaptable and, so it's good. We have a good team here.
Yeah,
You've met them, that.
Yes, I've met the office. Was it in
April this year. April this year.
Yeah, early April this year. Yeah. I popped in. I said popped in. It's only just around the corner in Mumbai. I popped in to meet everyone. That's where I met you, obviously, and the rest of the team. And yeah, it was it was a nice vibe there. I really enjoyed my time there. Thank you again to you and everyone at
It's our
Dots for the
pleasure.
hospitality.
It's our pleasure.
Uh,
You can come
yeah,
anytime you want.
I'll let the Melbourne director know that I'll be there next month. But yeah, no, the guys were nervous, I would say, when I came to visit them, but I think we got a lot done in terms of learning a little bit more about the trade, a bit more tax knowledge, a bit more
Right.
crypto knowledge, a bit more combining the two. And I suppose from my perspective of being someone at the forefront of crypto taxation and crypto accountancy, it's been a crazy journey for the last 5 years, and I think you can probably learn what I learned in 5 years in a year, just because of the data that's out there at the moment and the availability of those like us talking about it. I know Joe David, our managing director, talks about it a lot as well. So I think if anybody does want to get into it, they've got plenty of scope to do it, plenty of avenues to go down. And of course, I would encourage anyone to either come to you or me if they want to get into the space and see if they can launch a career in it.
Absolutely.
So, Janita, I want to know, do you have any questions? Again, I don't mind how many you have, if you have any about the crypto space or just anything.
Actually, what you just spoke about, that, there's a lot of information out there where, the young aspirants can, learn from. I wanted to ask you, since you're the king of crypto, do you recommend any credible sources of information that's available that, you think would be useful?
Yeah, that's a very difficult question, because with any learning, there's always going to be a load of rubbish out there. There just is. And if you're learning from rubbish, your output is going to be rubbish,
Right.
unfortunately.
Right.
So I would break this down into 3 categories. You've got your crypto knowledge, you've got your tax knowledge, and then you've got your crypto tax knowledge.
Okay.
As you can imagine, the third there's going to be far fewer available than the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are wanting to get into tax and accounting, I would go through people like the ICAEW, the ACCA, these accredited bodies where they have plenty of material.
Okay.
They have a whole, obviously, regulated set of exams and steps, and almost every accountant would go through one of these sort of pathways.
Definitely.
To get your tax and
Right.
accounting up. Now, what about crypto? Is there something similar for that? Well, no, really. There are a few things that are out there that I personally haven't looked into too much,
Mm-hmm.
that claim to give you a diploma, to give you maybe letters after your name, but it's just I can't comment on that
Right.
yet. I don't know what it's like. So until some form of regulatory body
Correct.
comes out with some insight, there we go, there's a business idea for
Yeah.
we're kind of stuck with a tertiary level of educational material. YouTube. I know I sound like an absolute millennial here talking
Right.
about YouTube as a primary source of education, but people that I've learned from a crypto perspective are those that give you an objective viewpoint
Mm-hmm.
of crypto. Completely objective.
Okay.
There's no ulterior motive. There's no subjective sort of shadow.
Got it.
They just tell you exactly as it is. Some of those I personally listen to and watch it. The Coin Bureau.
Uh-huh.
So there's a guy called Guy who has a brand called Coin Bureau,
Uh-huh.
and he does YouTube videos. I went to a conference with a few of my colleagues
Okay.
not too long ago. I would recommend him. He talks on a very high level reporting kind of news
All right.
type of thing.
All right.
If you want something that's a bit more hardcore, if you like, whereas there's lots and lots of technical words and all that they will use and not explain. So once you understand the basics of it, I'll go to JRNY Crypto.
JRNY Crypto.
JRNY Crypto. He, again, I think he's very good, and the way he talks and delivers is excellent, and he does get to the nitty-gritties of it, and it gives you an understanding of how it works. And then the last one, if you want something to dumb it down like you're a 5-year-old, but does an excellent job at it. I think it's called Whiteboard Crypto.
Whiteboard Crypto.
Yeah, so he does his animation on.
Oh, I'm definitely going there.
Yeah, that's where I would start. He gives you an animation on screen. He tells you about how ledgers work. What does decentralized financing? What does that look like? What is a blockchain? All these things which are very complicated. He completely dumbs it down. He gives you a visual,
Nice.
and it just makes sense.
Nice.
He is a really nice one about liquidity pools. Now, if I said to you, Janita, liquidity pools, what would that mean to you?
A pool which has liquid in it.
Exactly. You have no idea what that is because you're not in the crypto space. Whereas if you walked into the office with the team and say, Jamie said, "Can you explain liquidity pools?" They will all start crying or sing. It's not fun. And how do you account for that? Well, that's another thing. But this guy, Whiteboard Crypto, explains it. It's just really easy. He even talks about impermanent losses, which is like next level complications.
Nice.
So yeah, those three.
But that's really helpful. I'm glad you shared that, though. I'm glad you shared those.
Yeah, thank you. No worries.
So, Jamie.
And if you want to go for something specific for crypto and accounting, then there's very few. And this is not a plug, but I would genuinely recommend listen to what Myna talk about. So myself specifically and Joe David. We have CPD accredited webinars on 2020 innovation. I did one with the ICAEW. There's a few around. I'm sure we'll do more in the future, and those are actually specifically tying crypto and accountancy together.
Oh, that's helpful.
I know Dan Howitt from Recap. He's the founder and CEO, I believe. He has done one as well with 2020 innovation. So there's a few things out there for you.
That's good
to look at. Yeah.
So how does one get involved in this career via you guys? Shall we delve into that a little bit? Like, for example, I mean, at DOT, we're always looking out for talented and skilled accountants. I mean, we are open, whoever is open to, adapting, learning new skills such as crypto. So if there's someone out there who's not afraid to try new skills or they want to expand their knowledge beyond traditional accounting, then connect with DOT, connect with Myna, Nefos. Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I assume, so do you just recruit in Mumbai or is it across the whole of India?
No,
what's your sort of
we prefer recruiting in and around Mumbai, not within the city. We do have people who have joined us from different cities, but it's harder, with the accommodation and things like that, Mumbai being a very expensive city. So most of them are from the city and some a little bit on the outside of Mumbai, but not too far away. So it's Mumbai.
Okay, so if they wanted to get in touch with you, they would go to your website?
Yeah, www.hq.com and just, fill out the contact us form or download our ebook. You'll know that you tried to reach us and yeah, we'll get in touch with you. We've got so many candidates that have reached out to us via the website. Just fill out the form and then we bring them back and yeah, we take it from there.
And does it matter what sort of level of expertise they have? Do you accept?
We accept freshers, experienced, qualified, all kinds. All depends on, because we have so much, it's such an overwhelming demand, Jamie, for accountants. So yeah, all kinds, right from freshers to experienced auditors, senior auditors, chartered accountants.
I have to say, from me personally visiting, the atmosphere is incredible. Everyone's obviously working hard, but there was a birthday. Everyone was having cake and singing songs with people all eating together in the canteen or playing tennis or playing Karom. I nearly beat one of your guys at Karom. I was so close. So if anyone in the Mumbai area is listening in thinking, shouldn't I do it? You got nothing to lose by sending out an email, getting in touch and seeing what's appropriate. Fantastic place from what I've seen. For those that are not in the Mumbai area or even India, thinking, I want to get into this, especially if you're within the UK, I will listen to anyone that emails us. Just say you're looking for Jamie Nuttall and you want to talk about a job opportunity within the crypto tax space or crypto accountancy space or anything really, because we're always looking to expand and get new people. So there's plenty of ways so you can get hold of me, Janita, the rest of our teams, whoever it might be, and hopefully we haven't put you off with this particular episode.
How could we? We're so entertaining, Gavin. I mean, Jamie. Sorry, I just said Gavin.
You call me Gavin.
Gavin's gonna love this. So Gavin's our account director, and I usually do this long chats with Gavin. So forgive me, Jamie.
I won't say anything just to see if he.
Oh, he's gonna love it. Trust me.
To our podcast. So for me, Gavin and Janita, do we have any last minutes before we round off this podcast? Do we have any last minute sort of comments on what we talked about? Any last minute questions?
Just one question: what is the current demand for crypto accountants in the UK? Is it overwhelming? Is it what's it like?
So the demand for accountants, full stop, is quite high at the moment. Now we do have a lot of accountants in the UK, but from our experience and talking to other directors and partners, everyone's struggling to recruit. So even from that alone, to find someone who's also in the crypto space and wants to get into crypto
already filtering it out further down. I get that.
Exactly. So we're happy to take people on who want to learn about crypto. We'll support that as long as you've got the right vibe, I guess, the right personality, everything else. We're happy to teach. But yeah, we are certainly struggling. I'm sure many others are as well to get the right
people, right skill set. Yep, I get that whole synergy.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. Thank you very much, Janita, for your presence, for your questions, for your contributions, and of course...
My absolute pleasure, Jamie.
We will round this up momentarily, and we'll do another episode very soon, and it will be what is the future of accounting going to look like around the crypto space, so we'll delve into that a little bit more. We'll have some top tips in that episode as well on how to get into the crypto space. And it'll be a very short sort of 2-part mini-series that will conclude in the next episode. So from Janita and I, thank you so much for listening, tuning in, no matter what device or however you're doing it. Hopefully we'll see you
then. Bye.